I continue exploring Russia, and today the Republic of Bashkortostan of Russia through the places of one of the most ancient epic tales of the world, Ural Batyr. And you know what? In this video, I'm gonna make it exclusively with the members of recently absolutely #1 band of Russia, Ay Yola, Ruslan Sever,
Hello everyone.
and
How are you?
Rinat Ramazanov.
Selam Barag'ala Bashkortostandan herga UralBatyr yerinden.
My name is Sergey Baklikov. This is All of Russia channel on Baklikov Live. Поехали. Ay Yola is really the #1 band in Russia in 2025 now. By streaming plays numbers, numbers of radio and TV rotations, chart positions, and headlining at the largest festivals this year. In April, on the Shazam charts, Ay Yola's song Homai even overtook Bruno Mars and Lady Gaga. Despite their extremely busy schedule, they are here with us today. Unfortunately, their singer, Adele, couldn't join us. She's now recovering between big tours across Russia.
Прям вау.
Красиво.
Очень красиво.
All of Ay Yola's songs so far are related to the Ural Batyr epic, and the guys keep diving into it not only through their music but also by visiting the actual places mentioned in the legends. Most of these locations can be reached on a day trip from Ufa, the capital of the Republic of Bashkortostan of Russia. Today, in just one day, we visited the maqam of Ural Batyr, the Shulgan-TASH Cave, the Blue Lake, and the Yylkysykkan lake, from where UralBatyr's horse, Akbuzat, emerged. The route to that site passes through the incredibly picturesque Beloretsky and Burziansky districts of Bashkortostan, rivers, mountains, forests, and hills. Our first stop is the Yandic Spring, located between the villages of Ismakayevo and Verkhny Avzian. According to the legends, this is where UralBatyr rests. Exact coordinates in the description.
This is the Yandic Spring, Yandic Shishma, Yanshishma, a spring of living water. It flows into the Avzian River, also called Dauyan. Dauyan comes from Dau, great, huge, and Yan, soul. Literally, a great soul, but it can also mean a great man or a giant. Alpamisha. Yanshishma flows into the Dauyan, and there's Ural Batyr. We are now in a very sacred place. Here rests Ural Batyr, the messenger sent to the Bashkir people to guide them on the righteous path, the path of light and goodness. In the Holy Quran, it is said that 124,000 messengers came into this world, each sent to their own people to convey the truth in their native language. And here, on a memorial stone, is an excerpt from Surah Ibrahim, verse 4. We sent not a messenger except in the language of his people, so that he might make the message clear to them. The Almighty guides whom he wills. Below is the Vasyat, the testament of Ural Batyr, in which he calls upon his people to follow the path he cleared of evil. Create fertile lands here. In battle, always lead and be glorious Batyrs, heroes. I leave you Akbuzat, my horse, and the diamond sword, so that you will never give way to evil and always walk in the path of light. That's the testament of UralBatyr. Here is the actual resting place of UralBatyr. A pine log with stones of aspen limestone at its base. There are benches for visitors. People come here from all over Bashkortostan, from across Russia, and from historic Bashkir lands, traveling thousands of kilometers to pray in honor of UralBatyr and for the land he bequeathed to his people, for blessing, mercy, unity, sincerity, mutual help, and a bright future for their children. Such places are considered places of power, and we believe that prayers here are heard. And this entire journey we are on now is probably thanks to the fact that these places exist, and to this day people pray for us. I myself came here with my father and helped set all of this up. And we feel this power, we feel UralBatyr, as if in some completely unexplainable moments something incredible happens that the mind cannot comprehend. With all, so to speak, logical reasoning, it shouldn't be this way. But that's how it turns out, and UralBatyr always clears the way for us. We believe in this very sincerely and are convinced of it every time, because the first time it's a coincidence, the second time just an accident, but the third time it already becomes a pattern.
I can confirm that myself. Since we began recording our album, I want to remind you that our entire album is based on the UralBatyr epic. It is dedicated to some of the major and most important chapters of the epic. Incredible things have happened. Our recent song, Ural Batyr, it is directly about UralBatyr's testament to his people. The very words carved on this stone, and truly unique things happen. For example, we arrive for a shoot, and there's bad weather everywhere. We go ahead anyway, and as soon as the car stops, the sky clears. It's raining all around, but at the filming location, wherever we are, the weather is perfect. When we flew to Yakutia, all the forecasts predicted bad weather, but in the end, it turned out to be the earliest spring, and we stayed there for 3 days, and for all 3 days the weather in Yakutia was perfect, and it's like that everywhere. A lot of unexplainable things happen times when it seems impossible for us to get to a concert in some city. The weather is bad, flights are cancelled, something else goes wrong yet. Somehow, at the very last moment, we still manage to arrive and make it on time. This happens to us very often. And I'll tell you another interesting thing. See, you can trace it in our work. I'm, how should I put it, a man of science, a man of numbers. And it seems that through numbers they decided to tell me, Ruslan, open your eyes. We are constantly followed by the number 333 three threes. It's in the compositions, it's in the key track. I have never planned the exact length of our songs. But when we recorded the piece dedicated to Shulgan, UralBatyr's brother, it was a challenging one, because Shulgan is the dark side. And when I made the first render, I noticed that its length was exactly 3 minutes and 33 seconds. In the final composition, there's a moment where the music stops completely, total silence. This symbolizes UralBatyr leaving us, and that pause happens exactly at 3 minutes and 33 seconds. How to explain that, I don't know. We even have screenshots showing 303 subscribers, 333 likes, 333 comments. In Moscow, we went to the first skyscraper with Rinat to see the city, and when we approached the viewpoint, the marker read 333 meters. And the most interesting thing, I must say, is what's happening with our creativity. For so many years, Rinat had been writing and creating music with the band Argimak. For so many years I had been creating as well, and the moment we touched the UralBatyr epic, everything started to change. People began following us with much greater interest, studying and exploring. And here again, you could say 333, tourism to Bashkortostan has nearly tripled, and sales have increased not just 30-fold, as was said before, but I think we can safely say 33-fold.
The top 3 Google searches: Bashkortostan, UralBatyr, and translation of the song Home.
Therefore, that's the magic. It's my first time in this place, and I've long wanted to come. I'd heard a lot about it from Rinat, and now I want to go, take the kubis, play a little, and gather some power.
Суп-контрабас вообще, конечно, там этот, как, я не знаю, что звучит.
Мне кажется, даже микрофон не запишет этот звук. Вообще.
Поиграли еще?
Мы начинаем
By the way,
кстати, концерт.
This is how we start our concert. We open with a fragment of a piece called Ural Batyr. It's a traditional folk composition, and here you have the chance to hear it in such a powerful place.
Ural next to UralBatyr, yes.
Да.
to the next location. Next stop, the Blue Lake and the world-famous Shulgan-TASH Cave, which recently received UNESCO World Heritage status and is directly connected to Ural Batyr's brother Shulgan.
Вау! Смотрите. Еще бы этих столбов не было вообще.
Listen. Sienna. We are now inside the Shulgan Cave. Shulgan, according to the epic, is UralBatyr's own brother, and he turned to the side of the dark forces. The legend says he hid here, together with all the divs, serpents, and other creatures of the underworld.
Underworld kingdom.
And look, here flows the water. This is the lake, with an explored depth of 103 meters as of today. So far, that's all that has been studied. Next, we'll head to Yylkysykkan Lake, the lake from which the horses emerged, according to the UralBatyr epic. From there came the horse Akbuzat, who led out his offspring. The horses that serve people today are said to be Akbuzat's descendants. These two lakes are connected by an underground current, with a distance between them of about 6 kilometers, if I'm not mistaken. Both here and there, the lake bottoms are connected. Just imagine, 103 meters deep. I have no idea what's down there, but it's a very fascinating story.
Another fascinating fact, on the other side of the cave lies a lake of dead water. And just a few weeks ago, when we were in Istanbul, Shulgantash Cave was recognized as a heritage of humanity. UNESCO organization recognized Shulgan-Tash as a heritage of humanity. This is the result of great work by scientists and researchers of Bashkortostan. I believe it opens up many opportunities for the culture of our land and our people. And that's why it's a place you absolutely have to visit.
Rock paintings that were made literally thousands and thousands of years ago.
Yes, and we haven't even mentioned the most important thing. The rock paintings in this cave are estimated to be around 20,000 years old. They have been preserved thanks to the cave's temperature and humidity.
Just imagine, the cave has a certain natural relief, a structure. And at a particular angle you can see the outlines of animals. The artist was able to highlight these shapes with paint so skillfully that the image takes on a kind of 3D form. It's the cave's natural relief combined with the applied pigments. And just like with Michelangelo or Da Vinci, the angle of light reveals eyes, nostrils. All of this suddenly comes alive in the animals. Truly amazing.
I've already mentioned today that very unusual things tend to happen when we appear in places of power. Look, the sun is shining brightly, yet at the same time it's raining. I'm not sure if the cameras are catching it, but it's raining.
Special attention should be given to the new modern Shulgan-TASH Historical and Cultural Museum Reserve, opens in 2022. 7 themed halls tell about the history of the cave, archaeological discoveries, the study of its rock paintings, and the structure of the karst system. You can also see a full-scale 3D model of the Shulgantash-Cave. On the second floor, there is a section dedicated to the Ural-Batyr epic. The final point of our Ural-Batyr epic route today is Yylkysykkan Lake. It is located just 6 kilometers from the Shulgantash-Cave.
This is the winged horse Akbuzat, the horse of UralBatyr, who helped him in his battle against the forces of evil. Akbuzat was kept by Home, who waited for her beloved. The one who could tame this horse, and the only one who succeeded, was UralBatyr.
Pure soul.
Only a pure soul could tame such a horse. And in the epic, when Akbuzat descends from the heavens, all the waters on earth boil, the ground trembles, thunder roars, lightning flashes, everything shakes as Akbuzat comes down from the sky. We have depicted this very scene in our song. Yeah, will you drop the beat? Let's do it.
Mağdur miğadan bulmazda, üstümde yürüyen bulmazda, min sapkanda yıl kuburda, taşta yatıp tuğdalmazda, diyerimden kaşındalı, bulat olmaz kılısında, utka halhan yürümezde, bir miğe tip tuparmazda.
Bulat almaz kalisimda. This is the diamond sword that was kept by Akbuzat. And here are the very words. Kolagin bezay kazagan Yylkysykkan. This is exactly the description of how Akbuzat descends, noisily cutting through the surface of the lake, raising a storm on land. Akbuzat emerges, and the protector of all livestock. On his back lies a saddle, and hanging from the pommel of that saddle is a sword, sharp as a diamond. This description from the epic is precisely what we've portrayed in our song Akbuzat, which will also be released soon.
By the way, if you watch one of our live performances, we'll probably leave a link in the description, you'll be able to hear this song in full, exclusively, because it hasn't been released yet.
And here is that very smooth lake surface. This is Yylkysykkan Lake. Yylkysykkan translates as the lake from which the horses came out. These are the descendants of Akbuzat who serve people today. This lake is described in the epic as well. Interestingly, its bottom is connected by an underwater current to the bottom of the lake inside Shogun-Tash Cave. The underwater distance between them is about 6 kilometers. The explored depth is currently around 103 meters. That's as far as research has gone so far. There is a very strong underwater current here. Recently they began sending underwater drones, but so far they can only go down to about 30 meters. Work on this is ongoing. This is what the lake looks like.
It may seem small, but in reality, try diving in. Try to reach the bottom, just like in the cave. It looked like a small lake, but you immediately drop down deep.
You could even drown the Eiffel Tower in here.
We're 100 meters deep, can you imagine? And look,
The magic again.
The magic is back, the magic is starting again.
And look, it's not morning fog, it's evening fog.
And you know what's great about Akbuzat? He can fly in any weather.
This is the sculptor Ulfat Kubagushev. His grandson is a classmate of my son. And his brother was my faculty dean. Yes, he has since passed away. Well, it's a small world. Silence now, only crickets.
Oh, how nice it is.
And how amazing that we managed to see so much today. Yes, we visited the very resting place of Ural Batyr. Then we went to the place where his brother Shulgan, who had turned to the dark side, once hid. We saw the living lake with its living water, the dead water lake, Yylkysykkan cool, and UralBatyr's loyal friend and companion, his horse Akbuzat. Incredible. This is only a small part of the UralBatyr epic locations that we managed to visit today. And if you go deeper, you'll find that the entire republic is, in one way or another, connected to the UralBatyr epic. His sons Idil, Nugush, Yaik, and Kakmar, as well as Shulgan's son, who eventually turned to the light side and joined his brothers in the fight against evil. These names are carried by our rivers, Nugush, Kakmar, Yaik, and Idil, the longest and largest river in the Republic. The Yanbica and Yanbirda mountains in the Beloretsky district are the parents of UralBatyr, and almost every district of Bashkortostan, starting from the Orenburg region, has its own connection. For example, there is Lake Ajdali Kul, the place where the Divs and serpents once were. Near this lake lies the dormant Blayavtomagsky volcano with its ancient volcanic rocks. We have caves, the cracks of the Kriktitau ridge, which according to the legend were cut open by one of UralBatyr's sons to make way for a river. And there's Yamantau, the mountain of the corpses of divs and serpents slain by UralBatyr and his sons.
All across the Republic, I think some people might say, well, these guys just really love their Republic, but I can share a few scientific facts. And one fact that truly amazes me, the first time I came across the UralBatyr epic was back in my school years. I was always struck by the part where UralBatyr sets out on a journey riding a lion. Yes, on a lion. I had never seen lions in Bashkortostan, and yet, relatively recently, about 15 years ago, in 2 caves of Bashkortostan, the remains of ancient cave lions were discovered. That's how it is, believe it or not.
Also, Mount Iramel is a separate natural wonder. From its slopes, all the rivers of Bashkortostan flow in different directions. According to the legend, one of UralBatyr's sons cut through this mountain, and from it the rivers spread out. You can climb it from the Chelyabinsk region, from the Uchali district, or from the Beloretsky district. And from there, rivers flow in all directions across the historical lands of Bashkortostan.
I can tell you that on the summit of Mount Iramel you can meet people of absolutely all kinds, from all faiths.
Everyone there receives a kind of inspiration, filled with the life force, the power of nature, the strength of this mountain and this space. If you want to charge yourself with energy for the whole coming year, or even for your entire life, and set your intentions and goals here, then our land is truly unique. You come here, and it's as if someone is pumping energy into you. You end up completely filled, like a turbocharged engine with 500 horsepower.
And if you simply want to immerse yourself in all of this, to take your first step, then I think you should listen to our first songs that have already been released.
And watch the music videos.
And watch the videos, and you'll understand everything. I want to urge you to subscribe to us, because we're showing some new work almost every day, as well as revealing the deeper meanings embedded in UralBatyr. They are universal and resonate with absolutely everyone, so subscribe, follow us, and stay with us. Also, today we're not here with the full lineup. Tomorrow we're heading out on tour. Many will ask, where's Adele? Tomorrow we have a long, tough road ahead. We men can handle 2 days of such a trip, a powerful trip. But for Adele, it's a bit more difficult. That's why I'm sure she will appear in the next videos, and then it will become even more fun and interesting for you with us.
So, ladies and gentlemen, this was a real great tour through some of significant places related to Ural Batyr, the most ancient epic tales of the Republic of Bashkortostan of Russia, and one of the oldest in the world, made by these guys who recently got their triumph being inspired by Ural Batyr epic tale. My name is Sergey Baklikov, this is Ruslan, Sever, Rinat, Ramazanov, Ay Yola bands. See you guys.
Best wishes, see you in our concerts. Cheers.
Best wishes. See you in our concert. Cheers.